Hi, I'm JT Burcham, Hope 100.7, 93.7 The Light, talking with interesting people about fascinating projects. Today we're talking Lifewise with Megan Ivery. Megan, how you doing today?
Great. How are you, JT?
Good, thank you. Now, I have talked to folks with Lifewise before from other communities, but you are starting Lifewise brand new in Xenia, yes?
Yes, we are.
All right. How did you first come across Lifewise? How did you first hear about it and get involved?
Yeah. So, over the years, I have noticed a sign in a yard or these big red buses driving around, but I didn't think much of it until about maybe 4 or 5 months ago on a prayer call. I heard a man start to ask for prayer revolving around a state house bill. And so my ear was tuned and I was praying alongside people all across the state of Ohio. And come to find out, they were looking for a program director here in Xenia. And so I just took a leap of faith as a previous stay-at-home mom of 7 and applied.
7. Now, loaded question. Are you a homeschooler? Have you been involved in any of that kind of 7 kids? You might.
7, right. So it's really interesting because our family grew rather quickly through adoption. And so,
Okay.
although I have 7, I did not birth 7. And so, we do not homeschool. We do have one who's actually graduated and married. And then we have 4 at Legacy, 1 at a Xenia Community School, and 1 who's still at the preschool age. So, no homeschooling here, but we really do love what Xenia has to offer here for educational
Okay. So
avenues.
you heard about, you heard there was a need,
Yes.
and you answered the call. You're getting involved. Um, where is Lifewise Xenia at? I mean, it's starting. I understand. So, what's needed?
Yeah, so we actually launch this week. We will be in 3rd and 4th grade at Tecumseh Elementary on the north end of town, and it'll be around lunchtime. And so that the times vary per grade each day, but we are launching right away here in Xenia at Tecumseh. So Wednesdays, we'll bring over the 3rd graders, and Thursdays, we'll bring over the 4th graders. And yeah, so we are enrollment is still open. We have a couple students in each grade. Homeschool students are also welcome to join us. So we're excited to see what the Lord has in store for Xenia community students. Yeah.
So, for those listening today who really don't know the Lifewise story,
Sure.
what happens? What are you doing with these students? You're going into the school. I think you're actually taking them somewhere else, aren't
We
you?
are.
How does that work?
So about 70 years ago, in 1952, there was a law passed through the Supreme Court with a vote of 6-3, stating that students across America can be released from school for religious education. So what we do is we actually go in. We sign the students out just as if they're going to go to a field trip or a doctor's appointment. And then currently what we'll do is we'll walk over to the local church right next door. They'll get about an hour of activities, Bible instruction, and lunch. And then they'll head back and we'll sign them back in. So they do leave school property, and that's kind of how this becomes legal. It is off school grounds, it's privately funded, and it's with parent permission. So it's a completely voluntary program that's available for all public school students here in Xenia, Ohio.
Now, what are some of the stories you hear from other Lifewise programs around the state, or have you run into others? Have you learned from others?
Oh yeah, I wear a Lifewise shirt around just as often as I can, and we hear stories all the time. We actually had a booth set up at the Fall Festival on Saturday, and a little girl walked by and she said, "I live in Vandalia and I go to Lifewise," and just you could see the beaming smile on her face. And that was actually my first encounter with a student that attends Lifewise programs here in the local Dayton area, because they're everywhere. They're not just here in Xenia, they're everywhere. But some of the stories I've heard are, a young boy started attending a Lifewise, and what he was learning and what he was hearing, he started to bring home. And he got interested. He got really interested in the gospel. He got really interested in the Bible. And he asked his parents if he could start going to church. And so collectively now his entire family attends church every Sunday. And so it's not just impacted him each week as he attends these classes, but it's even moved into his family. And so now they all attend church regularly.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, you're in a unique position where you can actually walk students from the
Yes.
school to the church. No big red bus required. Is that
Not yet. Not yet.
You see that down the road, though. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Just get ready, Xenia. You're going to see a bright, shiny Lifewise bus zooming through town. The speed limit, of course, but so as we expand out of Tecumseh Elementary School and we're into Shawnee, Arrowwood, McKinley, Cox, and even Warner, the high school, every single school in Xenia, we will be utilizing a bus. And so be on the lookout for that as we launch that campaign this summer to raise the funds for that bus. But we are really, really excited to have one of those here in town.
You're talking to a lot of people in the Xenia area and around Central Ohio. How can folks help?
Sure.
Do you need funding? Do you need volunteers? What's needed?
Yeah, so actually both of those are needed. We actually have one teacher currently and about 4 or 5 volunteers. And so to run this well, it'd be ideal to have a couple of teachers and a substitute or two. And then, a minimum of 10 volunteers with this just one building. And that seems like a lot, but in January, we are expanding to K through 5. And so we're going to have a lot of students. We're going to have a lot of classroom time. And we want to make sure that all of the volunteers are cared for well. So the more volunteers, the better. And then of course, as we move into other buildings, we're going to need that as well. So we're looking for volunteers. We actually have 4 seats available on our board. So we are also looking for board members. Again, those teachers, those substitute teachers, and of course, funding. Funding is definitely necessary to continue to sustain our Lifewise program because, again, we are privately funded. We are funded through support. And if that's something you're interested in, that's something you can also continue to look into, but also prayer. And most importantly, prayer. If you want to get behind us and pray for us and pray for the community, pray for the students and the families, and pray even for the nation, because Lifewise is in 34 states in the United States of America, serving at least 100,000 students currently.
Yeah. Now, I had an interview a few months ago with a gentleman who was doing the same type program, only it wasn't under the Lifewise banner. And he gave me some stats that I'm going to share with you. He said this type of ministry is actually more popular and it's the very biggest in Ohio than anywhere in the nation.
It absolutely is. And when Lifewise was actually being created, it was out of a need from a community that already had a long-standing program. And what's interesting is when I was in 3rd grade, I remember leaving school, getting on a bus, and we stayed on the bus. It was like it was converted into a classroom, and that's where I learned Psalm 23. I remember creating a popsicle stick little shepherd and a little sheep. And I remember as a young girl, and I was not raised in a Christian home. My family did not attend church regularly, but I got to hear the Bible in that type of a setting. And so that was really awesome. And, I won't share my age here, but that was quite a few years ago. And so that program is still alive and booming today. And then the program in which this Lifewise was birthed out of was actually out of Ohio as well. And so I tell you what, these programs exist, but not a ton of people know about them just yet. So that's why I'm here today with you, JT. I want people to know what we are able and legally allowed to do in public schools across the country, but specifically here in Ohio.
Yeah, well, thank you for hearing the call and stepping up to answer it. Appreciate what you're doing.
Yes, thank you.
I guess, what's your dream? What's your vision? You hope, obviously you want, more schools around Xenia and more communities affected,
Yeah.
but you're local here in Xenia. So
Yes.
What's your dream for Xenia?
So I'll tell you right now, we have in our latest census count of public school students in Xenia, there are 3,738 students enrolled in Xenia Community Schools. And it is our dream and our vision with Lifewise to reach every single one of them. Yes, a good portion of them likely attend church. Xenia has 83 churches in it. So we are the most saturated city in the state of Ohio when it comes to churches. And so we would still love to see our community grow with the love of God. I think of each and every student. I think of the demographic and what takes place in our city day to day, and I can just see the need for the gospel. So it's our prayer, it's our hope, it's our vision and our mission to get the gospel in front of all 3,738 students here in Xenia.
Okay. Just a couple minutes left.
Sure.
When those students show up this week, we're right on the beginning of it. When they show up, what's going to happen? What are you ready?
We are so ready. We had a meeting this morning. It was so exciting. We met with the volunteers last week, the teachers, and a couple volunteers this morning. And I even met with the principal over at Tecumseh Elementary School this morning. So what's going to happen is we're going to gather together as volunteers and staff, and we are going to pray over the area, pray over the students. We're going to walk over, we're going to grab them and their lunch and walk back over. And once they join us, we're going to do an icebreaker. We're going to play a game. We're going to learn what is the Bible. Week 1, we learn what the Bible is and how to use it. And then we're going to have time for prayer. And then we're going to send those little ones back on over to school to enjoy the rest of their day. And so because this is during lunch and recess, we get to bring their lunch with them. The school here in Xenia actually provides that for them, or they're welcome to pack as well. But we're going to eat that lunch. We're going to enjoy time and fellowship, but we're going to make sure these kids know that they are loved by the Father and they are loved, by the community. And then we're going to, walk them back. And the teacher has a plan. She's going to have bubbles going. She's going to have music going. It's going to be a really, really good time. It's think VBS in the middle of the week, just like a little mini field trip that you get to enjoy every single week. So it'll be a lot of fun.
I heard you say teacher, so you're not teaching this class.
I'm not. I'm the program director. So I'm the program director. I'm gathering the community. I'm bringing the awareness. I'm sharing with you. I'm recruiting the teachers, the volunteers, the students. I'm praying. We're raising those funds. We're building the trust of the community, and we are just, we're pushing on. So I will be hands-on here at the beginning as we get the ball rolling, but eventually I'll step back and watch what the Lord does as I continue to do things here on the back end of things.
Well, and I'm sure others are going to join you in your vision, but there's a lot of things you can do, but the most important thing we can probably do is to pray for you.
Absolutely.
Students, because God always has a plan and his story is always better.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Megan, for what you're doing to improve the community of Xenia and get involved in the students' lives. We really appreciate it. Again, that website, let me see one more time if folks want to get involved. Let me see, where'd that go? Just a second. Here we go. Lifewise.org, Xenia Community OH.
OH. I know.
Oh, boy, you started that, didn't you? Well, loads of fun. Stay in touch. Anything we can do, we appreciate what you're doing, and certainly our prayers are with you.
Thank you so much, JT.
Thank you, Megan. Take care.